So I have to double check. Right, good afternoon, everyone. Hey, look, thanks so much for taking the time again to come to the Accelerate stage for this next session, which I'm really, really looking forward to. For those that don't know me, I'm Al Turner. I've been involved in the curation of this stage. I also write the IBTM Global Trends Report, which we're kind of saying that if you're not willing to read the 60-page report and the 20,000 words in it, all you need to do is sit in this theatre for the 3 days, and what you'll do is get the film of the book, so to speak. We're talking a lot about trends and innovation and looking to the future, and sustainability is one that keeps on coming up. But it's obviously something that has many different forms of sustainability, and a lot of this is about social purpose, putting good things back into environments, being responsible buyers, which is why I'm really, really delighted to be working with Original and having them on the stage today. It's a fantastic organization. What I would really, really advise you do is, if you haven't already before, or do afterwards, go just there. It's all in black, where you can learn more about these amazing creative artisans who are really, really bringing a taste, smell, touch of Barcelona to life. It's a really, really good way for us as meetings and events organizers to positively influence the destinations that we work with by working with people like these. I'm not going to oversell Original, because no one can talk about Original better than Claudia, but I just wanted to introduce you and say thanks so much for coming, and thank you guys for bringing your own special tastes to this stage. Claudia, I'll leave it with you. Have a great session. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Alistair. And thank you all for joining today. So we will talk about sustainability, which is not new, right? If you think about the articles you read, the events you have joined, group discussions, even the hotels you have stayed at, sustainability was there, mentioned several times. Sustainability is a need, and it's also a trend. We all want to go sustainable. Our industry does, society, consumers in general. Which leads me to a question. What does sustainability mean? I did this question to several event planners from all over the world during lockdown, contacting them using mails, LinkedIn, and those were the most common answers I got. You're familiar with them. Food waste, eco-friendly products, green venues, recycling, reducing carbon footprint. And if you think about it, we have seen enormous progress in our industry regarding those goals. But here's the deal. Sustainability is normally misunderstood as a synonym for eco-friendly, for green, when it means more than that. Sustainability, the modern concept of sustainability, has 4 pillars. The environment is one. The others are social, culture, and economic sustainability. So I invite you to take a look at it from our industry perspective. Economic. Tourism leakage is a phenomenon that prevents local communities from benefiting as much as they should from the revenue and activity like ours generates. That happens, for instance, when we talk about gifts and merchandising, and we purchase something that was not produced in the region where we are operating. Or when we organize those lovely programs at an all-inclusive property and keep our attendants in that bubble with no contact with local communities. If we think about social, and that's a picture we all have seen, social sustainability refers to the balance that should exist between tourism development, events included, and the local community's quality of life. When we have over-tourism, this balance is broken. And you might now look at me and say, I have nothing to do with that, because I work in the events industry, I do not do leisure. But here's the deal, we do have to do with that, because we operate in highly demanded destinations. And when we do so, our programs should go beyond the common attractions and the widely known attractions. Otherwise, we are reinforcing the operating mechanism massive tourism has. We should be able to use our creativity to offer something extra, something else to our attendees and guests. And finally, cultural. Cultural sustainability refers to the ability of the community to preserve heritage and traditions. Of course, we all want to have those cultural elements incorporated into our programs. But we need to think if what we are offering is authentic and belongs to that region, or is it staged authenticity? So when we choose a gift, is this gift really from this region? Is that representative or not? And that's what staged authenticity is about. So, as I said, our sector has created awareness on the environmental issue, and we have done progress regarding that. Now it's the time to do more. Preserving destinations due to the nature of our activity should be a top priority for us. And if you think about a destination, what makes it special, irresistible, unforgettable? You can say it's the food, you can say it's the architecture, it's the nightlife, but it's actually the people. Think about Barcelona, where we are. Barcelona would never be the same without those markets, artisans, lovely coffee places, small restaurants, the way people smile at you. It is about what people, local communities will give us and create for us. That's why I want to talk about community-based events. Community-based tourism is a concept that's widespread now. What are community-based events? For me, it's the time to think about how can we work with local communities and bring them into our planning. And that's what Original is about. Local business, artists, artisans have suffered a lot during the pandemic as much as we did. And I'm wondering, can we work together? And I do believe we can. That's why we are here today. I have my three guests I'll introduce shortly. Every destination has, like I said, artisans, artists, non-profits that have something to offer us in terms of corporate gifts, in terms of venues, in terms of authentic experiences. So what we need to do is learn how to work with them. And to talk about this, I invited three very, very special people today. Let's start with Martin. I will hand you the microphone. Martin has, for 15 years, been leading a dazzling project here in Barcelona. And there's no one better than him to introduce what Mescladis is and explain his vision on sustainability.
Thank you, Claudia, and thank you for the invitation. Well, in Mescladis, when we look at sustainability, we look at it also, as Claudia explained, from a holistic perspective. First of all, the social sustainability. We are a social project promoting a migrant system that is sustainable, and we understand that we can make a migrant and refugee system sustainable if we can help people to help themselves. And we do it by training people to work then in the hospitality sector. So that's the basic thing. Then we do other things also in the cultural area, working with the community and related to community development, to get to know each other and to learn from each other. Then we also look at the economical sustainability, and for us it's very important. We generate with our own economical sustainability the resources to train around 100 people every year and to manage 140, 50 social itineraries to get them to the market. via the management of 3 restaurants we have in Barcelona, which I invite you while you are here to visit us. Because by doing that, you are going to be supporting economically our project. As I mentioned, around 90% of our budget is generated by our own economical activity. Then, of course, we look at the environmental sustainability, which is very important. And how do you do that if you are an actor in the hospitality sector? By looking at your suppliers. Our suppliers, if you go to Mezcladís, our wine is from Cooperativa La Olivera, a very interesting and nice and beautiful social project. The yogurt, the ice creams are from La Falleda, another social project. The vegetables are from local producers, producing following agroecological methods. So that's very, very important for us. It's also very important in the area where we are concerned with, because mostly of the refugees and migrants that we are seeing today and we are going to see in the next decades is as a consequence of climate change. So it's very important then to take that into account, of course. Then we look, of course, at the last but not least, at the emotional sustainability, which for us is very important. When you move from one place to another, you lose your areas of references, your family, your club, your school, your whatever. And we do that for all our students, which for us are part of our big family. We try and we do our best to be a place of reference for them.
Lovely, lovely. So we can go to Mezcladís. Well, they have, as Martin said, 3 units in the city, and organize a cocktail there and meet those students and understand their realities. Do a cooking workshop. And we can do so understanding and knowing that we are collaborating with such an important project. How many times, as an event planner before Original, I have been to Barcelona, and I did not know that existed. It took me a while to find them. So I'm wondering, what else is there that can add up to our programs? And that's about also creating meaningful options for our attendees and guests who will understand and treasure that. Then I will introduce you to Belén Atienza from Spice and Transition. I guess I will need to translate a little bit. Belén, do you want to explain what Spice in Transition is?
Vale. Hola, ¿sí? ¿Se me entiende? Bueno, todos habréis observado aquí en Cataluña, en el territorio español y en el resto del mundo, que nuestros paisajes en las ciudades y en los pueblos se están llenando de espacios comerciales vacíos que cierran sus puertas.
Let me translate that. As you all know, in many cities, not only in Catalonia, we can see empty spaces in commercial streets, local business that's basically disappearing.
Entonces, nosotras en el año 2012 nos hicimos muy conscientes de esta situación. Y pensamos que además de haber muchos locales vacíos, en el mundo también hay muchas personas con muchos proyectos innovadores, con muchas ideas que pueden aportar valor.
So Belén and Beth, her partner, who could not join us today, saw the need to start changing that. She lives in a lovely medieval town called Vic, and she knows that in Vic and also in other cities, we have several entrepreneurs and people who have dreams. And she was trying to find a way to make those dreams a reality.
Entonces decidimos pensar que el espacio vacío no era un problema, sino que era una oportunidad para transformar las cosas. Y decidimos conectar emprendedores con valores, emprendedores locales, emprendedores con una visión para aportar al territorio, conectarlos con estos espacios.
So they started looking at the empty spaces as an opportunity and to look for a way to connect entrepreneurs with ideas and those empty spaces.
Y aquí empezamos nuestro proyecto en una calle de una ciudad que se llama Vic, que está a 60 kilómetros de Barcelona, que tenía 22 espacios vacíos y hoy tiene 22 negocios de artesanía, ceramistas, personas que trabajan en la piel, personas que trabajan todo proyectos artesanales.
So as I told you, she lives in Vic. If you do not know Vic, it's just an hour away from Barcelona. It's a lovely town, and they transformed and brought back to life La Riera Street, Carrer de la Riera. What they did was to remodel those empty spaces, making them attractive, and also provided advice and recommendations for artists and artisans who wanted to start their business there. 22 empty spaces that now are 22 local stores, workshops, and ateliers. And people come from all over Catalonia and Spain, and also, we hope, from all over the world to visit this street. I had the pleasure some weeks ago to visit it with Belen, and so as a local guide was walking and explaining the project, and I was delighted to see it by the hands of the creator.
Bueno, al final lo que hemos conseguido es que sea una calle diferente a cualquier otra calle de cualquier otra ciudad. Por lo tanto, para una persona que viene a visitar es una experiencia completa, no solamente por los negocios, sino por las historias que hay detrás de todos ellos y la experiencia que os pueden hacer llegar a todos.
Of course, so visiting it's an experience because it's not just walking by the street. It's understanding the history from the people who are there. The first question she made when she started it was, what's your dream? What do you want? So it's understanding and relating to those histories. And of course, as an event planner, when you go there, your mind starts flying. And you start thinking, what can I create here? Oh, this space is great for a cocktail, and I will connect that with an experience related to ceramic and lots more. And that's an example of how we can connect with the local community by doing something, again, meaningful. And finally, John Juncosa.
Hello.
Who is an architect that found his inspiration during lockdown, looking at the tiles from his home. You can maybe show a little, wow, you know, the old tiles from typical homes in Barcelona, and wonder what he could do with that. Do you want to explain what you did actually?
I tried to do it in English, but if you can help me, Claudia.
Yeah.
Our project calls Tiles Around the Wall, and the idea is that this tile, to represent Barcelona, of course, it's a souvenir for the tourists, but for us it's important that there are an experience outside this souvenir. The local can know our atelier, can know Gracia, the part of the city where we do our art, and they can show us, with this project, Tiles Around the Wall, their favorite place. And it's a nice of this thing, that it's not only a souvenir, it's a thing that you know that are helping the local and are supporting a community, and that revenues on the city. And we are the people who is living in this city, and we are cuidando,
taking care of
the city for you. Then, please, this change is fantastic for us.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
So when John started this project during lockdown, he used it to place these. He still does actually. He would place these in the street and post it on Instagram, telling people it's a way to share. If you find this, take it home and show me where it is. So his tiles started traveling not around the city, around Catalonia, around the world, Hong Kong. It's sharing something that for him is part of his city's history, heritage, and that he is really willing to share with the world. That's his motto. Take it, share, and understand where it comes from and what's my heritage. And of course, yes, it's a gift. This was personalized with IBTM's corporate colors, as you can see. So it's an example of how corporate gifting can be meaningful. We had another guest today, thank you, John. We had another guest today, which was Oliveira, mentioned by Martin. Oliveira is an amazing social project. They grow grapes and olives to produce wine and olive oil. And they include in the process people with some disabilities and people also that were excluded from the system. So by buying their wine, their olive oil, or visiting them, we are helping them to keep this wonderful work they do. And that's how transformative our industry can be. If we think about the power we have, the people we reach, and how meaningful that can be, we can really change a destination for good, and we can have a positive effect on the destination. And I believe that's what we should be doing and activating. Think about your attendees. If they get to know any of those 3 projects or other local artists, maybe they will get home and think about their own communities as well. That's actually what we want to do within the original project. We have artists, artisans, non-profits, entrepreneurs that normally did not belong to the industry. And we want to build this bridge between them and our industry. Of course, I understand we often speak different languages, as I always tell them. Event planners have a lot to do, a lot to take care of. That's why we are highly demanding. But I believe we can learn how to work with them, and Original builds this bridge between both worlds. So I invite you to think about it, because what we can do can really enrich society. So thank you very much for being here today. I'm open, and they are as well, for questions.